Hello and welcome. My name is Tom. This is the Enthusiasm Project Season 14, Episode 3. Could it be? Yes, indeed. Sorry. Today I have a different setup, and also I'm not going to be alone. I'm not going to be flying solo. I'm going to have a very special guest, and that's what we're going to jump into. So before we get started, let me introduce my guest, which is Bronson from the YouTube channel Audio Hotline, and also from a live stream that we did in this very room in person a couple months ago, because Bronson visited us and we did some fun stuff that we're going to talk about later, which involves seeing of our my favorite band. I'm not going to say your favorite band, a favorite band.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a favorite band, for sure. Yeah,
it's definitely. And band. And today, the reason I'm using this different setup is because we're also using the YOLO Box Extreme. And for the video version of the podcast, I'm using two YOLO cams, the YOLO Cam S7, which is a micro four thirds interchangeable lens mirrorless webcam. So that's interesting. So I have one right here, and then I also have a tighter shot. And if you're listening to the audio version, I have basically a wide one that shows my whole desk, and then I have the tighter shot here. And we are using the YOLO Box to record everything. And Bronson is also a guest through the YOLO Box. But here is the magic. Actually, speaking of magic, let's talk about our mics first. This will be the magic mic segment. Yeah. Because I don't have all my typical segments that I usually have, but I want to go for mic of the week because you have a new microphone and I'm using one that I've not yet used on the podcast. So, Bronson, what microphone are you using?
It's the Ethos. What brand is it? It's the
Earthworks.
Earthworks Ethos. Yeah, obviously. Come on, me. No, it's actually the second time I've ever plugged it in. And I actually really like the sound of it. I was just commenting to Tom that I feel like it's way better than I expected, it being like a little bit more balanced and not as like hyped, because I feel like there's just a lot of microphones that are very hyped. But I am also using an SSL2 Mark II, and I do have like the 4K mode on that. Not 4K video, but 4K audio. So that is what's creating the little bit of high, frequency boost. So, yeah.
Cool. The Ethos is as everyone knows, especially last season when I did the different mic every episode, the Ethos is one of my favorites, and it tends to be it's such a good microphone for a long, thing like a stream or a podcast.
Yes.
It's not fatiguing.
Yeah, for sure.
And I love that. Not for sure, because I am using Rode and not a Shure microphone today. So I'm actually using a microphone I've not used for the podcast before, which is the Rode Interview Pro, which for this podcast setup, originally Heather was going to be able to join us too, and this was going to be an easy way to have two microphones wirelessly connected to my YOLO Box setup over here just through USB, and that way I don't have to run cables across the table. This is a very clean looking setup, and there's just no handling noise, not really any plosives. Mine has a big windscreen on it, and I like the way this microphone sounds, period, but when you put the windscreen on it, it kind of tames a little bit of the harshness, and then it works pretty well. And I've been working on a video all day with this, and it has it's been sounded pretty darn good. So with that being said, we've done our mic of the week. We've introduced our guest. Now I'm going to do something that I've never done before on a full-on podcast episode. I am going to turn on auto switching, and now, in theory, I shouldn't have to I shouldn't have to pay attention. We should just be able to have our conversation. So this is me talking. It's on me.
And now I'm talking, and hopefully it switches to me. Oh, hey, it did. Hey, that's
actually pretty sweet. And if we both talk, if we're both talking over each other,
both talking at the
and we're talking and we're both talking,
just so weird.
There it is.
Yeah,
it went to the split screen.
Hey,
yes. So that seems like it's working great, actually, and kind of rather than being super robotic. In theory, this should have some sort of algorithm behind it that also helps the switching feel a little more organic, and that way it kind of should feel like I'm manually switching it as a human. And so we're going to test that out. We're going to see how that goes. So with that said, let's jump into, can I change this? Oh, I can. I can still take manual control over it. And then it just comes back to me.
It's like, nope.
Okay. So I can change that. So with that being said, let's jump in, and there's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about today. The first one, though, is I do want to talk about the experience of getting to hang out together in person.
Yes, that was a great time. I had a great time. And I'm not just lying for the sake of the podcast. It was very fun. It really was.
Yeah. Yeah. So it kind of crazy. Actually, almost a year ago, February of 2025, there was an announcement that Blink-182 was going to not only be playing a show at the arena where like I watch all the Firebirds hockey games and where I play hockey and stuff, but it was going to be the last show on a tour they were going on. They announced a tour. They announced all the dates. Ours was the last stop. And I was just like so excited. I immediately told you. And then you were like, we kind of joked. I was like, we have a guest room. And you were like, honestly, I might have to take you up on that. And then you did. And the show wasn't until October. So they announced it in February. But it was like, I just bought the tickets right away as soon as we could. And then, then you came out and we got to go see Blink-182.
Yeah, we just made it work, dude. It was awesome. Yeah.
It was such a good show.
It was
like,
I was honestly blown away by it for sure. It was awesome. It was so good.
Yeah, and it was
I really
fun.
think that. Oh, sorry, dude. Oh, wait. This is.
We can talk over each other.
We're okay. We can talk over each other.
It's totally okay.
It's totally
and then it
fine.
should, in theory. Hey, there it is. Look at that.
Yep, there we go.
It seems to really be prioritizing me, which is as it should be, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, I was just gonna say it was really cool that Heather was there. I mean, for many reasons, but also like it's kind of a litmus test. The fact that she saw the show and then really liked it as well was kind of like, all right, this isn't just because I've liked them forever. Like, this is a legit good show.
Yes, that does make sense, actually. It's always nice to have someone that like isn't necessarily like the biggest fan of the band there that can like corroborate that it was good, And dude, I really think that honestly it might have been like my favorite concert that I've ever been to. Like for real. And I've seen like so many concerts. Like dude, I'm for real. Like I really think it might be.
That's I mean, I have, people like you take concert footage and people are like, why film concerts? You never go back and watch that. I have gone back and rewatched those videos like a lot of times. It was just a good show. It was like a perfect set list because it was everything from like brand new songs to from the very like oldest songs. So it was like a really good set list. It was production wise, it was awesome. Sound wise, it was awesome. The vibes were just good. And the thing that was really cool is that was 2 months before my 40th birthday. And I found out that Tom DeLonge, his birthday is about a week after mine. And it was his 50th birthday. So for me, I don't know how you feel about this, but not just watching them and watching them be great, but watching them like all upwards of 50 years old. Not that 50 is old, but like to be doing what they were doing at 50-ish years old was pretty sweet. And it made me feel good about like, sometimes you just get up in your own head about that kind of stuff. And it actually made me feel like really good. So
yeah, no, for sure. And I can say that like, well, they've all had some kind of health problem. Yeah. Like Travis Barker was like literally in like a plane crash, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't Mark? Wasn't he like? Didn't he have cancer?
He had cancer. Yeah.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
Tom, I believe, had like some back issues and a bunch of Then there's like substance abuse that come with like the pain relievers and all that. So everybody's gone through life.
Yes, yeah, for sure. And they were doing it, man. It was awesome. It was cool to see, dude. And honestly, like I was worried that it was gonna be like kind of not really that I really feel like they're old because like you said, 50 really is not old. But I just felt like they might seem, like a little bit aged, but dude, it really did seem like they were just like 20, 30 years old, just shooting the shit or shooting the crap with their friends. And
it's okay, you're allowed.
Yeah. So okay, that's good. Okay, I didn't know. Just like, and that's like part of the reason and part of like why I fell in love with Blink-182 is like it was actually one of the first things I ever listened to. I think was the Mark, Tom, and Travis show was like their live CD. And so, like, dude, I loved that. Yeah. And I loved like the jokes that they were making and everything. And it was just so fun. And like, it was so inappropriate and it was so like awful, honestly, but I just like it was just funny, man. I don't know. Yeah,
But to me,
they're
that's
like comedians, you know.
that is the joke, and with their kind of humor, and that's what I've heard from things I've seen like behind the scenes of them is that like they're trying to get each other to laugh, but also half of the joke is like how I don't know if offensive is the word, but like how wrong the joke is the joke.
Mm-hmm.
Which like for me as someone who likes cheap dad jokes and stuff, when I tell jokes, a lot of times people, and I'm like, why did the bicycle fall over? Because it was too tired. I do think that's a fairly clever joke, but also the joke is that it's a bad joke. Like,
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, when I was a teacher and I would tell those jokes to my class, it was like, I'm not trying to get you all to laugh at the joke. I'm trying to get a sea of faces that are in pain. And that's fun for me. Like,
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So
no, I definitely get that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They just it was one of those things. It reminds me so much of my actually my second Aquabats concert, October 25th, 2002.
Oh, dang, dude.
So quite a few years before. I saw that and I was just like, I had like a feeling afterwards that was almost like motivated, inspired. Like I want to make stuff. I want to do stuff. Like I want to whatever. I had like that same feeling after that show. And it was just like, I don't know, it was fun. And I know like you said that the Mark, Tom, and Travis show was like, you know, an early album for you. What's My Age Again was the first song that I ever noticed the bass line in when that came out. I didn't even know at the time what the difference was between like guitar and bass. Cause if you don't know, they kind of look the same.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I didn't know like sonically what the difference really was, but I heard Mark's bass line in that song and I liked that sound. And that was the first time I ever noticed it. And it's like, you know, and I have a Mark Hoppus signature bass on my wall over there, which is very cool.
Yeah.
So there was also, though, there's something else that I wanted to bring up about our trip or your trip here. So Blink-182 was a long time interest, passion, whatever. There was a long time interest of yours that you introduced me to as at the time, a 39-year-old. Any idea what that blooming interest might be? That would.
Oh my gosh, coffee, dude! Yes,
yeah.
Obviously, why did I not immediately think of that? I don't understand. Like, where's my mind right now? Yeah, dude.
Hey.
No, I'm so yeah. I am. I'm so happy that I got you into coffee.
Yeah, I had no idea. I did not realize you were as into coffee as you are. If you don't know, if you watch Bronson's YouTube channel, you see like these very well put together mic and audio reviews and stuff. Also, you brought paraphernalia with you, like on a plane, for creating coffee to your standards.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. And you also did research because before you came, you searched out some local spots to us and you were like, I want to try this coffee shop. And I was like, sure, I know. We got Starbucks's. And you're like, no, I want to go here. And so we went to a local coffee shop that I'd actually like heard of it, but had never gone to. And it was you, me, and Heather. It was the morning after the Blink-182 show. And I was just like, oh, let's get like a snack or something. And I don't think I got my own drink that day, but I tried all of yours because you got a couple. Heather got something. I was like, okay, this tastes good. I've always loved the smell of coffee and even the flavor, like coffee ice cream, but like drinking a coffee was something I never really did. And anyway, it seemed good. It went well with like the croissant and the pastries we had. And so afterwards we went back and I got my very own big boy coffee.
Oh my gosh, man.
I know.
I'm so excited.
So I have been going a couple times a week ever since. And they opened a second location, which is like super nice. And it's even closer.
Dude.
And so it's cool because it's a local shop and they're really good. But it's like, you told me they're really good. I'm like, it seems...
Yes.
It's my only frame of reference.
Yeah. Well, and like the way that so long story long. It's like, it's kind of a situation where I usually just look at coffee shops and I just see if they're like into fair trade or like, you know, just stuff like that, especially if they have like light roast coffees on hand. I usually like lighter roasts and everything. So, and like, I mean, it's pretty apparent when a coffee place like knows coffee and actually wants to perform very well. Like it's very obvious in like their description and bio and everything. So I was very excited to try that place. And I told Tom the other day, I was like, I really think it's the best coffee place that I've ever been to.
That's insane to me.
And like, that is crazy. But like, for real though, it is that incredible. And like, I've been to like I told him that second place was like Snowy Owl in Massachusetts, or Cape Cod, like Massachusetts.
Wow.
I think where was it? I can't remember. But it's Brewster, I think. Yeah. But and I mean, dude, my brother-in-law is like, he's an incredible, and I honestly don't count him as like a place, I would say, because like he did own his own coffee place, but I feel like it was just a bit different in the sense of like it was just like a solo thing, and he was awesome. Like he is, you know, he's a big reason that I learned a lot of that stuff. But it was kind of funny because he knew all that stuff, and I like was kind of dipping my toe into it and kind of going into it for the first time, and then he just solidified that like the way that I was going was the right way, and I was like, okay, yeah, you know, that's sweet. But dude, I could literally talk about tea and coffee. I'm a tea guy, I'm a coffee guy. Like it's literally the only thing that I drink aside from water. Like literally.
You could have another YouTube channel. It's like Spill the Tea or something. I can't think of it.
Yeah. Well, dude, I think that so that was actually one thing that I did think about initially was like I kind of wanted to do like a coffee related YouTube channel, but I was like, I feel like it's kind of not really played out or anything, but I just feel I wasn't really sure of my abilities at that point of like being able to frame up a shot and really like nail it or anything. And then I remember seeing Peter McKinnon for the first time and being like, oh, this guy like just nails coffee B-roll all the time. I'm like,
right.
I actually
forgot. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I forgot about the coffee B-roll craze to like
right now.
Dude.
It was bad. Oh. And honestly, it kind of sucked because it really did like put a damper on like that world, I feel like. And it was a little bit of a bummer, I will say. Just like the matcha latte like whole like what is it? What's it called? Like when a guy is posing for a girl or whatever. What is that called? Like the it's like a thirst trap or whatever. But like it's like it's a performative male. Performative male.
Okay.
Yeah, they've ruined matcha lattes, and I'm like, dude, you can't ruin the matcha latte. Like I'm married and I have a kid, and I have recently deceased, but 4 cats now, I guess. And I was like, dude, you can't ruin you can't take that from me, dude. Like you can't take the matcha latte and make it performative male and just assume that every guy is that way. Like I'm not that guy, but
a macho latte.
I can't order it, man.
Some might say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but dude, I don't know if you've seen the whole performative male thing. This is
new
wild,
to me, but I don't know that that's going to be in my search history. But
yeah,
sure.
It is. It's insane, dude. Like it's just like a dude that goes and orders a matcha latte and then chills and reads like a very feminist, like prominent world history book, essentially, and just like he's just like reeling them in, you know. Just
okay,
like
so it's not because they
you know?
actually believe these things. It's they're trying to like project the image. No. Okay,
exactly.
This is what someone with ethics would do, kind of thing. But,
exactly. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. I guess performative. That makes sense then.
Yep.
So anyway, I owe you a huge thank you for that, and so does the coffee shop because we've been paying some of the bills lately through it.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. No, it's. Yeah, no, I actually just ordered some coffee beans that they also order from. It's called Arcade. It's a place that's local, like up there. I think it's like I read like 30 minutes away from the place or something.
I think it's in Riverside, California. You said, which is like 45 minutes away.
Okay, yeah. So it's like a local place, and dude, it is. Yeah, it's just great. It's great coffee. It's very good. But it's called Everbloom if we didn't say that.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry to blow up your
if you're
spot,
watching.
man.
No, Everbloom, if you're watching, not sponsored, but would like to be.
Hey, man, yeah, for sure. Dude, they're awesome. Dude, I told him at the time, but the barista was just like, it was incredible. Like the stuff that she could do, I was just like, this is insane. Like,
yeah, the way she was like whipping the things and like, I don't know, it was like a Western gunslinger.
Dude, she was kind of being a performative female, honestly. Like, if I'm gonna be real about
she
it.
Doesn't even like coffee. I've now gone enough to have had coffees made by several different baristas, or I don't know if a male barista is a baristo, but
I think it's just barista, but I never have thought about that.
Okay,
Dang,
well,
that is
several
interesting.
different baristas, and they've all been absolutely fantastic. And they can do like the art and everything. And I had to tell them the other day because they do the art and they give you the drinks and they're like, here you go, like order for Tom, and it's all beautiful. And then they give you the lids, and I was like, I just want you to know I do feel bad every time I put a lid on top of this. So like,
dude, right? Yeah, no, I get it, man. I totally get it. I know, and that's the thing that it does suck because like. And that's exactly how Darren felt. My brother-in-law is like, he would do this like gorgeous art, and then he would just literally just put and I could see just his soul just like being just leaving him every time, just like, oh man, and it's gotta suck. But yeah, I mean, they're paying, so it's fine,
Yeah, it's fine. I think they're probably used to it. So the other thing with that, what I have discovered though, is as someone who's not consumed coffee, I've had like I've had Coke, but I mean Coca-Cola. Very different effects. The caffeine content in Coke, 0, and the caffeine content in coffee is very different. And this is something I had known, but I had not felt it. And especially the first few times I went to Everbloom and got coffee, I like for several hours afterwards, like you can see it on like my watch. My heart rate is like up high. I'm like rushing. I'm like crazy productive. So I've learned, don't do that on like a day you want to chill, and don't do it in the afternoon. Like for me, it has to be in the morning when I know I'm going to do something. Like today, I've been filming this video and working on this multicam thing all day. Would have been a great day to go get a coffee in the morning, and the energy would have had a place to go. But like I cannot. It really has an effect on me. So it gears me up for the rest of the day, which gears me up to switch over to our next topic and talk about a little bit of audio video gear.
Ooh, I like it.
I'm like Tony Braxton. I'm a smooth operator.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Tony Braxton?
Wait.
I think it was.
I know Tony Braxton, but I don't,
Smooth operator?
I don't know. I'll,
You're going to Google that?
It is, dude. I think, yeah. No, it's that's Sade or whatever. Sade? Yeah.
I don't know. I just know it was a song that post-divorce my dad listened to all the time when I was a kid. So I have like strong memories of Smooth Operator. I think he also listened to a lot of Tony Braxton. I don't know. But then also like Limp Bizkit and Ozzy. So it is eclectic tastes.
That is, those are interesting. Like what?
I don't know. And then I'm over here, keeping it simple with Liquid A2 and Aquabats. So
Unbreak My Heart. Unbreak My Heart is a Tony Braxton song. That's a good
song.
song, man. That's a good song. I will say that's a good song. Yeah.
That's
okay. Yeah. I just had to put that out there.
No, the people need to know. This is why two middle-aged white men need to be on a podcast talking. People need to know about these things. It's very important. People do need to know a little bit about gear, because obviously, like, it's been a minute since I've done a podcast episode. I wanted to do a catch-up episode all about gear, but I couldn't muster the courage to do my catch-up episode yet, at least. So you have to relish this one for the time being. Proud of that. So, but you and I talk about gear all the time. Because we text on a pretty much daily basis, and we also use an app called Marco Polo to just like send video messages. So we're always, half the video messages are just show and tell, like look at this and look at that and like try this out. It's basically like YouTube channels that nobody else watches, which is great.
That's true. It really is, honestly. Like, I really feel like we could probably just post a lot of those videos.
Actually, I did. I posted one of our Marcos as a
Oh, yeah,
members
that's
only
right.
video. It was a webcam comparison, and I was like, honestly, this is kind of good. Like,
That's
this kinda
right,
slaps.
dude. I forgot about that. Yeah.
I was like, would
that
you
is
mind if I
hilarious.
just posted this? And I did. Yeah, so that was funny. But you have gotten some new gear, and obviously today with this podcast setup, I'm using not new gear. It's stuff I've had for a while, but I'm using it in a different way to kind of like, I've been doing a lot of podcast setup stuff lately. And so I've done like, you can do the full version with Sony mirrorless cameras, you can do eCam. Now we're doing YOLO box, and then the YOLO cam, the S7, which I think you have one.
Yes.
It is very interesting because it was like, the camera itself is $800 with no lens. You got to get a lens. Not that you have to like spend a ton of money, just any Micro Four Thirds lens that you like. But so that's pretty expensive for a camera that has no buttons or a screen or a battery or anything and can't record internally.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But there is, I think, and Heather's one of these people. There's a huge market for this kind of thing for people who want mirrorless camera quality without having to like be camera people, which I think you and I have a hard time understanding, like not being a camera person because we like it so much.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people who like don't want to deal with that. So it's been really fun. I would legitimately make this my desk camera that I use for my streaming setup and stuff, which is currently the EOS R. The only downside for me is the YOLOcam S7 has really good autofocus. Like hopefully you've been able to see it throughout this video. It's super fast, super accurate, but it's not, I don't know, I guess most cameras, the autofocus is in the sensor. It's not like lens or sensor based. There's a little thing off to the side of the lens that it's almost like the thing you can add to some of those like DJI, like the Ronin
LiDAR thing.
Yeah.
Whatever. Is it LiDAR technology? Yeah.
I don't want to lie and say that it is because I don't know if it's LiDAR, but it's something like that. It's awesome and it works great. Downside is if you put the Elgato prompter on it, it blocks it and then it doesn't work. So, because normally if you're using a camera that autofocuses through what it's seeing through the lens or whatever, you can put the prompter on it and it's still going to focus. This one you can't, and I need the prompter at my desk. So that's the only reason that this isn't my desk camera. But if you're someone who doesn't use a prompter, like right now I actually just have a screen off the side of the camera. It's working fine. If you don't use a prompter, this would be a perfect setup for that because you never, and it's been on, these things, I mean, I leave them on a lot, but they're designed to be on for a long period of time. They've been on for 8 or 9 hours just today, and they're fine. Same with the YOLO box and everything. So I've been really trying to put like some torture tests here. The YOLO stuff has gotten like super good from the first one like 6 years ago to now. It's like, it's so different. It's crazy.
Oh, by the way, I have the YOLO Box S3, the webcam thing,
oh, yeah.
Right?
I was using that earlier in this setup.
Yeah. No, dude, that is like, it is very good. Like, it is shockingly good, honestly. I was very surprised by it. And yeah, I don't know, man. It's like, I would say that you could absolutely like start a channel with that. Easily.
Oh, yeah. For sure. I mean, it's a $200. It's not a PTZ because I did a podcast setup video that was based around the OBSBot PTZ webcams, like running into eCam. So it's like, okay, you already got your computer. You can do similar things with OBS for free. So you just buy these webcams. You can get all 3 of them for the cost of like one S7, and you have a really cool PTZ setup. It's going to follow you, but obviously like the image quality of these is different. But the S3. It's not a PTZ cam, it's just a webcam. Actually, mine's right here. I was using it in this setup earlier as the master shot camera. It mixes with these cameras super well. It's mixed with my FX3 sometimes. I've used it as a top-down camera a ton in videos, and like for sure you could start if you can film in a setting where you don't need to like have an independent camera that's on a battery and a memory card. You could for sure start a channel with this $200 webcam and it would look awesome. But what's not a $200 webcam is the camera I saw you holding. I think it's the camera you're holding.
What was that? Oh, yeah. Oh, this. Sorry, I couldn't hear you over this A7 IV, right? Dude, I'm just saying though. Look at this. Like, look. Oh,
okay. See,
look at that, dude. I just break it.
Okay, so that is legitimately. Here's my A7 IV. That is legitimately a thing. The camera has so many features. If I were to upgrade to it, that would be a huge reason why. But can you tell me? And I'm not even talking to you about this like off pod. The A7 IV has the traditional flippy screen. I know that one is a higher quality screen. Like the panel is a better panel, but the design of it, the way that it does whatever transformer thing you just showed, why is that better? Because also like the A7R5 does it. Like, tell me why it's better.
Okay, so for me, especially I feel like I do like a decent amount of handheld video. Like I don't really in my videos per se. I feel like I usually use like a what is the Edelkrone like little pan thing or the slider that it's an iFootage one, the shark Nano
slider
or whatever.
Yeah.
So I really don't use it, but for like events and stuff, I do exclusively handheld. Like, and so, but just being able to do this and have your center of gravity not be just slightly off, where you're like, oh, I feel like I'm on, but just like having it just be right there, and you're just locked off, and it's just perfectly in line with the lens, perfectly in line with the camera. It is such a big deal. And I feel like that's what people really complained about for a long time. And also, like, overhead shots were just like, I felt like it was always, like, I would just always make it crooked or whatever.
Okay.
Where
Yeah,
I
do that.
And it
a
would
lot.
be like this, you know?
Yeah.
And I'd be like this, and I'd just be like, oh, man, I hope it's straight. But then I'd get it in, and it would not be straight. But it's just like, it's such a massive difference just being able to, just like honestly, like just that alone is so nice. And that's one of the reasons that I think that they did initially go to that like A6400 style body where it flipped over the top instead of like to the side, where they were like, okay, let's test this out. Let's see if people will shut up about it with this.
This actually makes it.
But
that makes so much sense. So I have the RX 100 Mark V. This is the camera I started my channel with, and it has like the old school Sony flip screen where it goes out from the bottom.
Yeah.
You can go down and then it flips up. I think a lot of their mirrorless cameras didn't do this because it was like blocked by the viewfinder and stuff.
Yep.
So a lot of them, it was stuck like this, and people were mad about that because they wanted you could flip out and then, you have that situation.
Yep.
What you just said though makes so much sense. I didn't consider the, like, I don't know, center of gravity, the alignment.
Yeah, it's great, dude. It's such a like minor, like it seems so minor. It seems like honestly like I'm making a big deal about nothing. Like it really does. And I understand if like if you feel like that really isn't like a big deal, like who cares, dude? Like, but dude, once you try it, you're like, oh, I get it. Like I get why it's been so hard to just handhold and like be kind of off to the center and just be like, okay, hopefully this is good. Like I don't know. It's just different. It just feels way better, but that was honestly, once I saw that screen was on there, that was the number one reason I had to get it for sure.
Okay. But are you, so tell me and us where the A7 V fits in your workflow. Like, is it your main camera? Does it complement something? Did you get rid of a camera for it? And then aside from the very awesome screen, what are the standout things, especially like for someone like me? Actually, this month marks the 4-year anniversary of my A7 IV and I got my 3 Sony cameras, and I just kind of like, I've been interested in other cameras, but they have just checked all the boxes for what I need. So even though there have been, like I would like that new style of screen and just a higher quality screen. I love like the FX2's viewfinder. I would love that on my FX3. Even though I do have an A7S III, which yes.
Yeah.
But
it is different though. I do agree with that. It is like, the body style is way different, and like, and internal fan is awesome, but also like the FX2, like you can actually move it up and down based off of like where you're at, right? So it's like
it's like it's more like a camcorder
so.
viewfinder than a camera viewfinder. And so there's been cool stuff where it's like, oh, I would prefer to have that feature, I'd prefer to have that, but I'm curious like if there's like, even if you have like an A7 IV where it's like the A7 V is worth upgrading to, or selling the A7 IV and getting it or whatever.
Oh man, I think it really is. It really just does depend on like your needs, because here's where it fits in for me. And I told you a little bit about this, but it was like, so for a while, like I shoot some events and I shoot like photos at them, and it's usually a dark environment and I need to shoot fast. And I need it to be mechanical because there are like artificial lights in the back, and it can be just a mess with banding and stuff. So I just needed a camera that was essentially fast enough and they could just pull it off essentially, because I feel like the A7 IV, I would just miss shots occasionally, and like, and it wasn't like it was bad. Like I pulled it off and it was fine, but I feel like the A7 V is just significant of a difference enough, especially when it comes to like shooting speed, that it's awesome. Like if you're going to shoot like sports at all, I would absolutely, no hesitation. If you have an A7 IV, sell it, get the A7 V for real. like no hesitation whatsoever. Like, but if you're just going to shoot videos like this, A7 IV is great. Like I don't think that you need to upgrade for any reason, unless of course you are shooting B-roll handheld and like you notice a jello effect or whatever. In that case, I mean, either slow down your pans or, or just accommodate that, But it's tough though, dude. Like I really do think that it is an awesome camera. It might be actually my favorite Sony camera, like that I've had.
Dang.
And so like, and I'm shooting on an A7S III right now. I'm looking at an A7 IV right here, and I mean, I like it. I like those, but like I said, so the main reason that I got it was actually just to replace my Canon R5, because the Canon R5 shoots very fast, and it was just perfect for that, And I would love for this to shoot like 7K 30p or whatever, or open gate. I'd love that. I would love it. I mean, I really would love it. I don't care. Like, I mean, like, I'm being sarcastic, but like, I absolutely would love that. But I was just so deep into the Sony ecosystem that I was like, I need to give this a shot. And if it does work and it does land, I feel like I can stay here.
Okay.
And it definitely felt like I feel like it landed. Like I feel feel very
you were
happy
so
with
excited when you ordered that camera, and then when you got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that actually makes sense for video, unless like 4K 120, for example, virtually uncropped 4K 120 is something I use all the time on my FX3 A7S III. So it doesn't matter to me personally that the A7 IV didn't have it, because I have other cameras that do. And when I'm out just with this one, 4K 60 is fine, because I do a lot of handheld B-roll and all this stuff. So,
yeah, the handheld is honestly great in 4K 60 on that camera. Like, it does have a 1.5 times crop and everything, but I think it speeds up the sensor to like around 15 milliseconds, and you don't notice that jello effect at all. Essentially, like it's way better. I think it's 26 milliseconds or I don't know what I don't know the exact
numbers,
but but I'm pretty sure this new one's like 13.5 or something like that, like all the time, like essentially just all the time.
Got
like,
you.
And it's awesome. And it, like, if you, I mean, like, I think it's almost as fast as the A7S III. As far as that goes,
which is crazy for a much higher resolution sensor. That is kind of impressive. Okay, so I see, that makes it a little more clear where the camera does and doesn't fit in certain workflows. It seems like an awesome camera. Like, I have no qualms, nothing bad to say about it. It just I did a video with Mark Bennett when the camera was announced, and neither of us had it yet. And then he ordered it that day and has since gotten it. I haven't talked to him much about it though. And then you ordered it pretty much at the same time, and I've talked to you more about it. So you guys are the only people I know personally that have it, and that's how I'm getting my my info.
Okay, so I did look it up because why not? The A7S III does shoot actually 8.7 milliseconds, and then in 120 it's actually 7.7, which is insane.
Okay.
So I mean, the essentially like 13 to 14 that the A7 IV does, like it's not noticeable at all. Like
at that point, yeah.
And
especially again with
it's great.
Such a crazier high res sensor, like
33 megapixels versus 12, it's pretty significant for sure. But honestly, I was really just thinking about, this is going to sound crazy, but I was thinking about just getting another one and just selling literally everything.
Knowing you as I know you, that doesn't sound crazy at all, honestly. And to be
you're
fair,
insane, so you're literally an insane person. So
if
that
you're
makes
doing
sense.
something a crazy person would do, yes, that makes sense. But actually, and it's funny you say that, because I'm really happy with my camera setup because each one kind of serves a different purpose. Prior to having Sony, though, I had two EOS Rs, and it was so nice having two of the exact same camera because, like, every setting, every menu page was exactly the same. I could, like, easily operate the camera without even looking, like, just, like, reach and push the buttons blind behind the camera and change the settings correctly and stuff. And now, like, there's always a hesitation of, like, FX3, okay, no, and the A7S III, it's over here, and then the A7S III and the A7 IV look pretty much the same, but not everything is the same. Like the A7 IV, I can push the trash can twice to delete something. The A7 III, I cannot do that. There's like, there's like little hiccups. The FX3, oh my gosh, my huge complaint on the FX3, which is only if you have the A7S III or a similar camera, is the menu button. The FX3 has a menu and a mode button, and they're the same shape.
Yep.
And which is the same shape as the menu button on the A7S III and the other cameras, but it's flipped. So the FX3's mode button is where the menu button is on the other cameras. And I always, to this day, having the camera for 4+ years, I push the wrong button every time first. If I'm not looking directly at the labels, I always push mode when I need to hit menu. And
so many times in this, like I've literally
it is.
It's so, and this is the A7 V.
Thank you I didn't have a camera to visualize. That's just my face.
Let's see if I can actually. Oh no! Okay, maybe. Yeah, dude. So it is just different enough, like that it drives you. Well, it's the opposite essentially, and it drives you insane, man.
Yeah.
It is like. It is definitely like a big deal. I feel like if you have like an A series camera and like an FX camera or an FX30 or a FX3 or FX2, I guess. It drives me insane. I literally have done it so many times, dude. So many times.
Yeah.
This is an FX30, by the way, but
same as the FX3 body though. So that I'm really happy with. I like having. Each of my cameras has specific strengths, and so I'm pretty happy with that. But I do remember just the smoothness of the workflow when I had two of the same cameras, and that's all I was using. So wanting to I just have two A7 Vs and I'm done, and then I bet you it wouldn't be long before you ended up with a third one. Totally makes sense to me.
Oh yeah. Well, that's like what I was thinking is like, keep the A7S III for a little bit, just get another A7 V. Sell the A7 IV, FX30, ZVE1.
Well, that would be the thing that would be smart about that would be it would save a little bit of money that could then go into the other hobby that you and I have gotten interested in lately, which can take some money, and that is
yes, it can.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
3D printing. Yep.
Oh yeah,
time.
There we go.
Yep.
Yes. So I was going to do an episode where I talk about like why my channel has halfway become a 3D printing channel now, to the point where it might be confusing to some people. And I could do an episode where I get into that. But yeah, you and I mean, I've been into 3D printing since before it was cool. It's not really
I started very recently when it was cool.
Yeah, which was the way, and that's the way to do it, because I got into it, I got really into it, and then I got kind of burnt out onto it, and like literally my 3D printer for years was utility. It was just like, okay, I have a printer, sometimes I need to print stuff, and it's nice to have a little 3D printer I can bust out and make something. But it wasn't like, it was literally, it got to the point where I was like, I have to set this thing up. I kind of dreaded it. And you actually it's been a while. I don't know, not a year, maybe last summer when did you get your first printer?
Yeah, I don't know. It would have been, I think it was like, it would have been April or May.
Okay, so like almost
probably May. Yeah.
And you got the Bamboo Lab A1. Was it the mini or just the A1?
Mini.
It was the mini. Okay.
It was the mini, yeah.
And I had the Prusa Mini was my like printer that I've had that one for like 7 years now, since whenever it came out. And you had the Bamboo Lab, and it was crazy because like when you visited, you're like, here's some prints that I made. And not only was the print quality really good on them, but also like, I designed this, and it's like I can design a box, like a bin to store stuff in.
Yeah, it's like the Bamboo just they make it so easy, you know.
That's what everybody said.
The Apple or Mac or whatever of the printing world, I feel like, you know.
That's what everybody said, and like my brother-in-law had one. Actually, I didn't realize this. He has 3 P1Ss, Bamboo Lab P1Ss.
Oh my gosh, dude!
I only knew that he had the one. I didn't realize he went crazy and had built a whole factory. But he got it, and I've had like another friend that had it, and they would show me some of their prints, and I was kind of like, these are multicolor, the quality's really good, how are you even doing this? And so I kind of knew that if I were to get a new 3D printer at some point, it would be a Bamboo, but I had no real plans to do it until, luckily, it was the week of Black Friday. I needed to print something, and the power supply on my Prusa, like, it started shooting out blue sparks. So,
oh, that's right, dude. That's terrifying, man. You don't want that. You don't need that. You don't need that concern.
No, I was always hesitant to leave those printers like unsupervised, but after that, I was like, yeah, I have to be like, I can't use it really unless I'm like literally sitting right next to it with a fire extinguisher. So I was like, you know what? It's the week of Black Friday. Maybe I could go get something on sale. And they had this crazy good sale on the P1S, which is like a way more advanced printer than my Prusa is or was. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And then they had just released the P2S, which like, it wasn't on sale at all. It wasn't even on a Black Friday sale because it was so new. But it was like, it seemed like it had just enough upgrades that I was like, in theory, if I do the same thing and I have this printer for like 6 or 7 years, maybe spending a little extra money to get the higher end one would actually kind of be worth it. So actually, I ordered it and a bunch of filament, and then I canceled the order. And then the next day I ordered it again.
Dude, did you really? I did not know the canceling of the order. Like, that's crazy. Yeah,
I got too nervous, and then I was like, no, and then I was like, no, I really want it, and so I got it, and it is the best. And I lost my mind with it, and then very quickly right afterwards, you were like, yep, I have one now too.
Yep. I was like, yeah, you know, I can't let Tom just have this. I gotta get it too. You know.
I mean,
but dude, yeah. Oh, well, and that's like the thing is like Bamboo. I don't know, man. It prints so well, prints so easily, and that's one thing that you were saying is you're like, dude, just keep your A1 Mini around.
Yeah.
And then just like, you know, but then my then my dad came over and was like, the prints that you've shown me are they're actually really cool, and I'm very interested in like printing stuff for my car now. And I'm like, all right, man, here's a printer.
Oh, cool. That's cool. That's actually, I mean, at one point I had, prior to the Bamboo, I think I had 6 3D printers. But most of them were like really, really inexpensive, like mono price printers from like 2017. So they're like $160, and you know, like you're required to tinker with them to get them to work. A lot of, actually, all of them except for, I have my very first 3D printer, which is worth nothing now except sentimental value, so I'm not going to get rid of that. And then I do still have my Prusa Mini. but all the other ones I did donate at some point in time. So the Mini was the only working one I'd had, and I was just like, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole again. So I have the P2S, I got the AMS with it, the combo which you also got, and then I did get a second AMS. So now I have like
I'm jealous, honestly, and I'm like, I probably need to get that. I probably need to.
That's knowing you the way I know you. That's why I was like, I didn't realize you got rid of your A1, and so now I was like, okay, is that going to be a second P2S? Is that going to be an H2C? Is that going to be
another? Oh man.
But the thing with the Bamboo, like, so I don't want to say anything negative about Prusa's because I actually really like their printers. I like what they did for 3D printing. And part of it is the tinkering. Like when I bought my Prusa, it's like it comes with a bag of gummy bears. It comes with instructions. You spend an afternoon or a day putting the thing together, and there's like parts in the instruction manual. They're like, now pause and eat a gummy bear, and you're like, okay. It's fun. Like, and that's cool. Like, it's a cool project. But sometimes you just want to like print stuff. And the Bamboo, I got mine, and I was planning to make a video for my second channel. So I was like, I'll film this, and I set up some cameras. I filmed the thing. From the time I opened the box to the time I was like done with my first print was 2 hours. And that would have been way less. It was 2 hours because I was filming it. So I had to keep moving cameras and stopping stuff and paying attention to microphones. If I wasn't filming it, the printer had to do, I think I do like 25 to 30 minutes of calibration, which you just let it sit there and do its thing. And if you take away that time, the amount of time I was actually like tinkering with the printer and plugging stuff in or whatever, it was literally like, I think it was 11 minutes. So
dude, it's crazy.
That's the amount of time from opening it up to having it totally set up, and then it has to do its calibration, and then it's printing. So you could say within 30 to 45 minutes, you could have the printer printing, but most of that time is the printer just doing its like updates and calibration.
I will say, I did time it roughly, and it was like an hour and 5 minutes for me. And I was doing some other stuff too, so I wasn't like perfect with the timing. Right. And I printed something like an hour and 5 minutes, like once I unboxed it. Like that's pretty wild. I feel like that's crazy.
It is crazy. And so I filmed it, and I ended up making a video about it, and I uploaded it to my second channel because I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I originally had a bunch of 3D printing videos on my channel. They're still there from like 2017, but I haven't made a 3D printing video in ages. And so I was like, I put this on the second channel, but I was like, I actually kind of really like this video. Like, there was just something about, there's a thing when I make a video for my second channel that like, and I'm really kind of trying to learn a lesson from this, is I have like less pressure. Yeah. Not that there should be any pressure on my main channel, but it's like, I don't care if nobody watches this. I just want to make the video is like the vibe. And so
that's true.
I kind of liked the video because it was very casual. It was very fun. It is a good video, and I put it on the second channel, and the only people who were commenting on it were people it was like Gil and a couple other people who are also on the main channel. So I was like, okay, there's overlap. Yeah. It's not like there's a different audience. And so I was like, you know what? Sure. And at the time, maybe next time I do an episode, I'll talk about why I thought I had killed my YouTube channel. At the time, it was in the toilet. So I was like, you know what? Who cares? Like, I'm just going to put this 3D printing video over there instead. And it was the best performing video I've had in like a couple of years, which blew my mind. And so I was like, dang. And there was like kind of overlap between, I can't really figure it out. And so I was like, okay, well, I was going to make more 3D printing videos for the second channel. It's like, I guess I could do them here. So I was like, I don't have a strategy for that, because I only want to do it as long as I'm having fun with it. I never want it to be like, I have to do another stupid 3D printing video. And like, but right now, like the Bamboo helped me rediscover the hobby. And so it's been fun to explore that. And I want to just keep doing that as long as it's fun. So I've been trying to, for the most part, like alternate, like here's a audio video production video, here's a 3D printing video, and kind of going back and forth, which I don't know. I'm sure every YouTube strategy person in the world would be like, separate channel, separate audience. But like, I don't want to, so I don't know.
Yeah, dude. Well, and like I said, I told you this like initially it's just like I feel like there is an overlap there, especially based off of like I mean the fact that I'm so interested in it and I'm a Navy guy, you know, like
Yeah.
and that's like the thing is I feel like there's just a lot there, like there's just so much you can do with a 3D printer in the audio and video world, like exclusively, like even just organizational stuff.
Oh
like,
my God.
like the Gridfinity stuff, man. Come on, like get out of here. You know that is awesome.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, that's the thing is I feel like no matter what industry you're probably in, you could benefit from 3D printing something. You know, like
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
That's what's crazy from how 3D printing was when I was initially into it. Like actually 10 years ago this year, 2016 is when I got my first 3D printer. It was really niche and it was very cool, but it was like, it was probably like how computers were in like the 80s, early 90s, where it's like computers are cool, but if you want to do something involving a computer, you have to go find like a computer person to like do it.
Yeah.
And you had to like find a 3D printing person. And now it's like, no, like literally just get a Bamboo and you'll be printing in no time. And I did find out, I think we talked about this, but Bamboo was founded by some former engineers from DJI. And I was like, as soon as I realized that, it kind of clicked because the way that everything is kind of like the Apple ecosystem, but like in some ways smoother. It really made sense to me where I was like, oh, I can see the DJI DNA in Bamboo in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just been super cool. And speaking of things, this is something I'm really excited about, and I can take ideation credit for, but not full credit. A complaint that I have had. So I'm holding, here is my Shure SM7B on my Elgato boom arm. I think for at least 4 years, if not more, I've been complaining about every mic arm is 99% good, but they always mess up on the mount because it's always a friction mount and you can never like get it positioned right. And it's always like, it's never holds quite firm or whatever. And so I've had the thought, if I have a 3D printer, I can try to figure out, I've literally like, I've tried to figure out a design for the past couple of years that would be a solution to this problem. And like my smooth brain just can't quite grasp it, but it's like in there. And I have a friend who, even maybe like 2 years ago, he got a Bamboo printer and got into 3D printing. Mr. Camera Junkie.
Okay,
for
cool.
the YouTube channel. Yeah, he's been doing all kinds of stuff. He does like camera rigs. I think he has a second, I actually can't remember if it's a second channel or what, but it's called Rig Junkie, and it's like custom 3D printed rigs for different things. And so he was like, hey man, like do you have any like 3D printing stuff, like pain points that I could like, he's like, I want to do a video like where I'm solving pain points for different people or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, here it is, the freaking mic thing. I told him I should read you the thing that I sent him when he was like, yeah, what do you need? And I was like almost frustrated because I've been so annoyed by this problem for so long. And he said, can you tell me briefly what it is that you want this mic arm to do? And I said, basically, no ball or friction mounts, none, teeth, lots of them, like a shark. Something that lets you essentially pan and tilt the head. Bonus points if there's a spring-loaded button or something you can press with one hand to release everything while positioning it with the other hand, and then let go of the button and it all snaps back into place. Within 2 days, he had a working prototype that he had designed and printed.
What?
And
Dang.
it's I need to make a video on it. I think he's gonna make a video on it. It's amazing. Like I think he still wants to refine some stuff, and there's probably some areas that can be improved. And he like, you know, he did the thing you did where he bought the stuff where you can like solder in like not heat sink, but you put in metal parts
or whatever. Yeah.
So he did that. He has like internal springs, so it like literally you can do it's everything that I asked, and it's awesome.
Dude, that is amazing, honestly. Like,
yes.
So is it like it's like a quick release essentially, like, but also with the friction or the
he
stuff?
did it in a way that's like so much more elegant than I had planned to do it, which is like, yeah, so there's like a button and you can push the button and then you can rotate up or down, which would be like the equivalent of like
Oh,
tilting.
okay, yeah.
So with one hand, you push in a button, and then you rotate this, you let it go, but it has just teeth. So the teeth come loose, the teeth go tight. And then once they're in there, it's not going to move. And then there's another thing which is pretty ingenious. It involves like, it's more of like a pull twist. So instead of holding a button to like rotate it, you kind of can just like pull it and twist it, and then like it locks back in.
And bop it.
Yeah, bop it. I'm not explaining it. I know he wants to refine the design a little bit. And currently it's something that can just be put on any mic arm, which is the other thing I'm not sure about in terms of design, because his design, like literally I saw it and I was like, dude, this is perfect. Like no notes. It just like, I guess it needs to be made out of metal. He's used like SM7Bs and stuff with it and it's been fine, but maybe ABS would be good. Obviously metal would be better. But he, I forgot what it was. Oh, that was the thing. Cause it goes on this. So the design is perfect, but there's still, when you attach it to an arm, there's still like, if you put too much weight going counterclockwise, then it can just untighten itself. And so that's where, if it were a fully like integrated thing, like the way that the Elgato head mount or the Rode one or whatever is part of it, if you could do that, then it would just be like the most sturdy thing ever. But this right here is absolutely amazing. So like, I'm excited to see. He just actually sent me some print files today to print to test it out. So I want to try that, but obviously there's some refining. And then, he sent me links to all the little like springs and stuff that you need to make it on your own. But yeah, so anyway, all that to say, definitely overlap, because he also did an app, which is very cool. And I need to try it next time I do a stream with Ecamm. It's an Ecamm plugin that lets you natively use anamorphic lenses. And
what? Okay, yeah.
I tinkered with
That's
that
very
in
cool, honestly.
OBS a while ago, because you can kind of make it work in OBS sort of like through a loophole. But this is just like plug in Ecamm, you have your anamorphic lens, it de-squeezes it, now you stream it anamorphic. And I was like, oh, dang, that's sweet. Especially as there are anamorphic lenses with autofocus coming out. I'm kind of like, this is pretty cool. Anyway,
Dude,
this is now awesome. My Mr. Camera Junkie shout out session, I guess.
Yeah, shout out, Mr. Camera Junkie. Dude,
it was just crazy.
That's very
that's
cool.
The thing with 3D printing. I have had this idea in my head for at least 4 years, probably more. And I have talked to people. I've talked to people in manufacturing. I've talked to people with product design backgrounds and all this stuff. And we haven't quite been able to crack the code. And he did it in 2 days.
Dude, that is wild. Like, I feel like that is just a different like kind of mind where they can just like build something that that you obviously need or can describe. But dude, that's the thing is like I feel like I'm pretty limited with my capabilities.
I'm so limited
as far as like I'm like I could make something a little bit cooler. I think for me, but for anyone else, it's probably not cool. It's probably not good.
But the cool thing with the bamboo stuff is, I'm trying to quietly take out a thing here, is you can even do simple stuff like, have you seen...
Dude, what? Dude, what? Hold on. What is happening right now?
Let's go.
Dude, I swear, like, this is not planned at all. No. This is insane, man.
It's insane, but not surprising. So yeah, you can see we have bins with different colored little rims on them.
Yep.
Shocking, mine is blue. But what I'm holding up, if you're listening to the audio of this, is it's a filter bin, which I use for like lens caps and stuff. That's part of the Gridfinity organizer system. But the cool part is the top of it kind of has like a rim that is a different color, which is actually helpful. Like,
oh yeah, it's great
in terms of seeing, but it's also a cool design. But you can do stuff like that so easy in Bamboo Studio because they have like the option to like, you can do layer painting and you can bring in a single color model and then add color to it and to different parts of it just in the slicer super easily, which is like something that used to be impossible to do.
Yeah. Well, this is one thing I actually wanted to show you anyway, is I actually went with the marble finish. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. But like I actually got the marble thing, and it's awesome, dude. It looks great.
That looks.
I mean,
classic.
well, actually, I know that I have something around here. Hold on.
Yeah, 'cause that's the other thing with bamboo is the different. Well, I mean, I guess with 3D printing in general, you get all kinds of different types of filament. But I've been really pleasantly surprised with the bamboo filaments. Like they're not crazy expensive, and they seem super high quality, and there's a lot of variety. The only downside is they go out of stock a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I feel like
Oh.
it's only a matter of time until they're probably available on Amazon. But I kind of just like that you
I
go
like
to their site, you know?
Yeah,
but dude,
no.
it's like I mean, it feels good and everything, and it actually does kind of have like a little texture to it.
I like it.
I love it, dude. It's honestly one of my favorite finishes. But I actually really like the red one that they have. It's like a more, I wouldn't even say it's like, well, it's like a reddy orange, but then it does have like darker speckles in it, and it looks great, dude. I feel like it's very cool. Yeah. So I'm gonna get that next for sure.
Yeah, I have become a little bit addicted to buying filaments and stuff, and I don't know if you know about this, but bamboo kind of like gamified. I haven't really played with this, but when you have your account, which by the way, you don't have to create an account. If you want to use the printer offline with other stuff, you can.
You should.
I know that's that's a criticism people have with bamboo is like, oh, but it's too locked in. I'm like, you don't need an account. You can use it offline with others, but it's like, why? Like at that point, get a Prusa. Like, why are you're getting the bamboo? Like use it to its full potential. But you kind of like they have like a gamification like point system, and you can level up by all kinds of stuff, by uploading designs, by rating designs, leaving reviews on designs that you've printed, and all that kind of. By being an active participant, you can redeem that stuff for like if you get enough of it, you get points. You can actually redeem it in their store, so it's not on Amazon, but it's in their store.
What? That's actually wild.
It's kind of cool. I don't know like
That's
what
cool.
the conversion is, but there are people who are literally, I've seen posts online where they're like, I did it, and they order like one of the baller printers for free because they got like enough points.
What?
Yeah.
That is insane.
A lot of people do it.
Wild.
A lot of people do it for filament, so I imagine it's much more easier to get like a free roll of filament. But
I would assume so.
some people who are super active in designs, and then if you upload a design and you have lots of photos and lots of people like it, and your design get lots of ratings, I think then you get more points and stuff. Which is like, it's like a weird way of, it's not monetizing it, but it's like that's pretty sweet. And
I mean, it's for sure. Oh, sorry, dude. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. I was just saying it makes 3D printing fun, and it makes it like.
Oh yeah.
I can see like as a 40-year-old I'm into it, but I can also see if I were like 12, I would be.
Oh, dude, if I was younger, I'd be so into it, dude. I would probably start a 3D printing channel for sure if I was like younger and didn't already start an audio one and stuff.
Hey, look, it
but
doesn't
you
matter.
You did it though.
It's just, I thought of even my channel banner is like audio video production, 3D printing. But like, yeah, I don't know. It's just whatever. It's the enthusiasm project, right? Like,
oh yeah, for
underneath
sure.
it all, it's whatever you're into. So,
well, and that's like the nice thing about and this is what the discussion that we had like a long, long time ago, was like having your name on the channel versus having like a channel name.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like I'm just stuck, essentially. I mean, I could always just change my name if I wanted to my name if I wanted to.
Yeah, you can always do whatever you want. But.
Yeah, I mean, but like I do feel like a certain amount of like I'm like a little bit stuck in this realm, but it's a realm that I do like, and I do like I don't feel bad about that at all, but I do love the fact that you're Tom Buck, and you could do whatever you wanted essentially.
I can do whatever the buck I want.
Yeah, exactly, dude. That's what I said.
I do just want to point out, just in case someone was watching, especially because I talked about gear, there was a little bit of stuttering there. My reference monitor died, and I changed the battery on it, and so the signal went out and the signal went in, and so as the YOLO box was like redoing HDMI out, there was a little bit of video stutter. That's what it was. That was my fault. Just disclaimer there. If you're if you're an eagle-eyed, like, hey, I see a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need to do a whole episode talking about this because I'm not really sure what to do. But like, I did the 3D printing videos And I again, the thing about them right now is like I want to keep making them, and it's very organic, and like I'm just a person that bought a printer. It's very like simple.
It's fun, man. Yeah,
and that's fun. And I think there's something people connect with, but also like those videos. I think I've done like 6 or 7 3D printing videos right now, and those videos by themselves have brought in like 1,500 plus subscribers, which is like,
dang, okay, yeah,
hella, like that's a lot.
That's for sure.
Yeah, because like normally if I release an audio video and it performs average, I kind of hate talking about stuff this way, but like a normal video, after it's been out a week, and I didn't even start looking at this till I started doing the 3D printing stuff, those videos will bring in maybe like 15 to 20 new people, which is great, fantastic. In a week of like some of the 3D printing videos I've done, which like are significantly more popular, they'll bring in like 600 people, 500 people. And I'm like, so that's cool. That's not, to me, that's not a reason to chase it, because it's still like, if I don't want to make the videos, it doesn't matter, because then it's going to be terrible. But it's like, oh, these people seem to actually like what I'm doing, and they're signing up for more, and I want to make more. So like, I guess I should just make more and not really think about it. Like,
that's fair, man.
That.
Do that. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I know, dude. And that's what I feel like I would love to like give you advice, but I'm
I don't think there is any.
I just don't. Yeah, no, I think that like, I think what you're doing is great. And like, honestly, like it's just sometimes you just got to follow like what you like, as long as you like it and it's something that you're interested in. Yeah, I think go for it for sure. But I do think that line does become crossed when you, like you said earlier, like when you're just starting to be like, I don't really want to make that video anymore, you know? And so
that's what happened early on, because I was just making videos about anything when I started the channel, and I started making 3D printing videos, and I just noticed, I was like, these videos like get way more views than my other videos do. And so I was like, okay, cool. But then it was like, I don't know how many videos I made, 8 or 9 3D printing videos. And I was like, that's everything I know about 3D printing. So I have nothing else. And it's like, especially early on when the channel's brand new, I think it would have made sense to go like, obviously I'm a 3D printing channel, but like, it would have, from video 10, it would have been forced, because it would have been like, okay, I guess I have to get a new printer and review it. And it's like, I don't want 15 printers. I don't want to like get into the nitty gritty of like this weird line of code that causes a thing. Like I just wasn't, and especially almost 10 years ago, like the technology was way more primitive. So now it's like, I like making 3D printing videos just because I'm excited. I literally just want to go like, hey, look at this. And like, I need someone I need someone to show.
Yeah.
And it's like you on Marco, dude, or like print videos on YouTube. And but I think that's cool. So as long as that's the motivation, I want to keep doing it. And as soon as that's not there, then I'll stop doing it. And that's just and I don't know. Hopefully it keeps going because I'm having fun, but you never know. And the way though 3D printing has changed is pretty nuts. And so I feel like there's more there than there was in 2017 when I started.
Definitely. Yeah. And I do feel like you're hitting it at a very good time where it's like Bamboo kind of just, their software has just gotten better and better.
Yeah.
Printing has gotten easier and easier. And so you're just kind of like no offense. You're just kind of like a dude that's just like printing, and that's cool. And people like that, you know? And so it's like, I can relate to that way more than I can relate to someone who's tried literally every printer the last 10 years, you know? Like, I'm like, I won't see eye to eye with that guy. Well, like I would like to hear it before I bought it, you know? Sure, I'd like to hear his opinion. However, like I on a daily basis, or like even just a video basis, like I feel like I would much rather watch just a guy rather than like a pro or something, you know?
And I think like that's something I'm keeping in mind, because I think, and this is so not fair, but Bamboo did reach out to me, and they were ultra nice. And I know it's because they see videos on my channel, and the channel has a decent subscriber number under it. So they're like, hey, what up? And that's cool. They were super cool, like super respect. I actually like the company even more, getting to know a couple of the people behind it. But of course, they're like, hey, if you want to try out like one of our flagship printers or whatever. And I was like, I do, like, out of curiosity, but like I don't also, like, I don't even know how to use my printer all the way yet. I can't get into
I get that. Yeah,
like maybe down the line, if I like max out my printer, or if it becomes something where people are like, we're curious about this printer and if you're able to test it for us, could you try it and like see what you then. But I like the thing of like, I'm just a guy that bought a printer and that's it. Like, there's no more.
Dude, like, for sure. Well, no, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say with you kind of did a mini A75 review a little bit ago, like in this podcast episode, and you're somebody who has tried tons of cameras over the past years. But the way you talk about A75 was mostly about the articulating screen, and then like some of the photo performance, and then maybe why you don't necessarily need to upgrade it for video. That little like 4-minute review to me was like way more genuine, helpful, and honestly like even a better selling point than some of the like legit polished reviews I watched about the camera. And it was just like a guy that bought the camera.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, and that's actually one thing that I'm just like, I'm kind of like bummed about that at the same time, because I'm like, wait, what does that mean for me? You know, like talking about audio stuff. I'm like, I guess, I don't know, you know, like well, and then I started thinking about it, and I was like, I guess that it's kind of where you're at, you know, like, and that's a big part of it is like, sure, if I, you know, got a bit more in depth with like printing and like wanted to learn certain things that I could do, I would need to go to, you know, the guy that has reviewed every printer or whatever that knows a bit more about that. But also it's cool just to like see that you're excited and that I'm excited because I also got the print, you know, so it's like, it's just very like, I feel like it's very genuine. But I was like, yeah, dude, I was kind of like hating what I do for just a second when I said that sentence. I was like, oh man, dude. I was like, ow.
I think the difference is I think it has to do with your, like, the person's motivation. So like right now it's basically like I'm starting over with 3D printing. So like getting this new printer, starting with the basics is where I'm at. So that's very accessible to a lot of people. And and so like coming with cameras, for example, I know like even Gerald and Dunn has posted videos where he's like, I don't want to do any more of certain types of tests or whatever, because it's just like, I'm not interested in it. And I think that's important because it's easy to feel like, okay, you have to do this very in-depth test, then you have to do this in-depth, then you have to do this comparison. For a while when I was doing mic reviews, I was feeling like, okay, here's the 38 other microphones I have to compare it to, and I have to switch them out, and I have to do the thing, and it's like, it almost felt overwhelming versus what you're actually interested in. So if you're interested in, which I know you are, because you've sent me Marcos and things and text messages where you're like doing pretty in-depth, nuanced audio tests that nobody else will ever see or hear.
That's fair. Yeah.
So if that's the thing that you're going to be doing anyway, and that's just who you are, and that is how it comes across on your channel, then I think it's a good thing to do. If you're doing it because you're like, well, that's what you have to do. You have to do the in-depth crazy test, and it's like a thing you don't want to do and is driving you crazy, then I think that also comes across. So that
is fair. Yeah.
And that's different for everybody. Like I like going in depth with things, and I like explaining stuff to people, but I have found that I kind of stay away from that in videos because for me, I have found that it invites the actually crowd, and I don't particularly like that crowd. And like, if I just say like, I bought a printer, it's awesome, check this out, here's my experience with it, it's kind of hard to like what I get are a lot of other people who are excited about their printers, or they want to buy a 3D printer, and it's like, we're all like, dude, isn't it cool? It's great. if I get into a thing where I'm like, here's the like in-depth look at why Bamboo Studio compared to Prusa Slicer, whatever, there's just going to be a bunch of people in the audience or in the comments going like, well, actually what you didn't consider was blah, blah. And I'm like, I just don't, I just don't want to do that.
See, yeah, no, I get that. I definitely get that. And that is one thing that is very interesting that I do find myself doing that I'm actually trying to not do as much.
Is go into the comments and be the actually person.
Yeah, I don't like that guy, but I am that guy. So, no, it's actually, so I will find myself, talking about like whatever, like a microphone spec or something like that. Not a spec on a microphone, but a microphone specification. But, or just something,
right.
along those lines. And I will find that I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, so I've talked about the one thing that took me literally 5 seconds to talk about, but then I'm literally talking for 35 seconds just cleaning up the actually people, essentially.
Right, yes.
Just being like, well, I understand that this doesn't apply to this and this or this, but in this case, blah, 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 and I hate that, dude. I do hate that. And so, I don't know, man. Yeah, I get you. And that's why I do try to, I steer clear of like specifications and stuff in microphone videos now, because I felt like those were the people that always just, and I was like, okay, like I will test a microphone in a lot of different goofy ways, and I will just be like, it's goofy and it's funny, or whatever. And that's that, but yeah, I try to not specify too many things. I feel like, just because I don't like want to get into this guy, but
yeah, no, the first the Bamboo unboxing video is pretty funny. I know I told you this, but I filmed the unboxing part and then used the printer for a week, and I filmed the conclusion after I had like more experience with it. And my plan was then to also film an intro. I was going to come in here, sit down. I was going to do I was going to give a lot of context and explain like, this was my first 3D printer. This is the Prusa I've had. This is what I've been looking for. This is that, to like give a lot of context, explain that I'm not brand new to 3D printing. And I just like didn't want to film that part. Like, I don't know why.
Yeah.
I filmed the conclusion, and I was like, I'm just like kind of tired and I just don't want to film it. And the rest of the video was all edited, and I just needed to add the intro. And I was like, it kind of works without the intro. It's a little abrupt because it starts with me just going like, well, here it is. Like, I have the box, and you're like, what are you talking about? But I kind of learned something from that, because I was like, okay, throughout the video I can explain like, oh, this is so different from my printer I've had for a while. So there's a little bit of context that's just included naturally. And then the video just like gets into it. And I kind of think that's why like more people watched it, because it just went into the thing the video was about. Like, it's very old YouTube. And I've been trying to keep that in mind more often. To the point where actually I worked on a video last week where I went on a whole trip to San Jose, and I did stuff with the sharks. I took photos with my A7 IV because I don't have an A7 V.
Boo.
And I came back and like I showed Heather the video I made, and she's like, this video is great, but you actually need to add an intro. Like, you need some context. And I was like, okay, I like took it too far. But it was a cool lesson to learn in terms of just like, wow, the reason I was going to do that intro was not because I wanted to share the intro, which for the San Jose video, it was like, oh, there's actually kind of a cool story to tell here that I want to share. For that, it was literally going to be like, let me address all of the haters, and then we can get into the video. Yep. And it's like, I just cut that out and just got into the video. And
dude, that's great.
Like, the video was more fun. I didn't make the other part, but I had way more fun in all the parts that are on the video. People in the comments are so excited that now when somebody does show up and they're like, are you mean to tell me you actually have printing experience? You didn't even take off this proper bed screw foam at the whatever. They just look like a crazy person. Because
dude, yeah, for real.
Like, everyone's having a good time here, and you show up and you're just
and
like,
you're just being kind of a jerk, dude.
Yeah, like, it's literally like it doesn't go well. And so I'm like, I don't know what it is. Creatively, I think there's a lesson there that I've been trying to like learn about a little bit, which is nice because the lesson I think is just get into the topic and don't spend time trying to please the people that don't even like what you're doing in the first place.
Yep. Well, and that's like, yeah, no, I definitely get that. And I think it was you or Doc Rock. I can't remember who
We're basically
said
twins,
something.
so yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah. But yeah, you essentially said that, and it was just like...
That was Doc, for
I think
sure.
it was Doc Rock. Yeah, no, he was definitely... Yeah, he was like, don't worry about, like, you know, like the haters or the people that are going to... Or that could comment. Don't worry about the coulds, but just do it, dude. Like, just like literally... Just make the video and don't worry about it. And I'm like, okay, you know.
He'd gotten me on that in the past too, because I used to disclaim stuff when something was sent for free. I still do. Yep. Like I have to disclose it, be like, hey, Rode sent this microphone for free. I'm not under any obligation. You know, I have to say that. But I used to then go on and be like, but no, I like, and he's like, man, why are you spending all this time for people who don't like you? We're here and we just want to get into the video.
Yes.
And it's like, yeah, you're right. You are right.
Yep. No, I think that he actually said something it was when we were in Vegas at NAB, and he drove me to the road thing. And it was a very similar situation actually, because I was talking about like a comment or something. I think I was like heated about, you know, a comment or whatever. And he was like, dude, like, who cares? Like, just like, who cares, man? And I'm like, that's fair, man. You know, I get that.
Right.
You know,
that's
right. Fair. That's a fair point.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like there's something there. There's probably points worth dissecting. But for now, we are 90 minutes in, and honestly, I'm just getting really hot in this room. So
dude, me too, actually.
Okay. Yeah. I think it is the winter time, so our like AC doesn't turn on, and now my I don't know what it is, but humanness is just it is like when you're when you're in high school and you stay up all night like playing video games or a sleepover, and just that like funk that exists in the space afterwards. I think I'm edging up on that. So that being said, I very much appreciate you being here for the podcast and, you know, helping me. I needed this podcast episode to finish a video, but we didn't have to do the actual podcast episode. We could have talked for 10 minutes and then that would have been done. I thought it'd be really fun to do a podcast episode since we have it up. So I really appreciate you being here and doing that and taking time.
Of course, man. Anytime.
For your busy life. So with that being said, is there anything you'd like to share? You want people to go to check out YouTube or whatever?
No, I'm good.
You got a MySpace page you want to pimp out or anything along
those dude. I honestly, like, I really am bummed that MySpace pages aren't up still.
Me too.
Like,
me too.
Because I would for real love to just, like, go back and be like, what song was I into at that point in time? Because, like, that was the best part is, like, just getting, like, you were online at 1 a.m. and then you just go to a page and it just starts blasting death metal and you're like, oh, sorry, parents, you know.
I remember putting in a new, you know, you change your profile song and you're like, you sit there and you're like, people are going to get this. This is how I feel right now.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, like after a breakup, you know, like you're like, oh, yeah.
I
got the perfect song for
this. Yeah. I got the perfect Aquabat song for this situation. So, yeah, well, I appreciate it very much. Definitely check out Audio Hotline on YouTube. Even if you're not necessarily an audio person, production quality is great, personality is great, and that's kind of the thing. Like, just click on any video, and whatever Bronson's talking about is going to be fun and interesting. And then you might also learn something along the way. And if you are into audio and stuff, then all the better, because you're going to be like super psyched about what you got right there. And I look forward to your 3D printing video, your 3D printing channel in the future.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I got it.
3D printing.
I actually am going to make a 3D printing video. Like I told you I would, and so I'm going to. So
let's
it's
do
going
it.
to happen.
I double dog dare you. That means you have to do it.
Yep.
All right.
Dang it. Okay.
With that being said, I appreciate you listening. Appreciate you being here. If you want to share anything, obviously you can either reply directly to the fan mail link that's on the Buzzsprout audio only pages, or you can leave a comment on YouTube, or of course you can always reach out to Tom at enthusiasmproject.com. And appreciate you being here. It's been nice. It's fun to do episodes of podcasts. Believe it or not, it can just be a fun thing to do. So hope you have a safe, happy, healthy, fun rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.